focus on being nice to yourself today. As you go through the process of learning how to manage your thoughts and how to manage your brain and how to change the way that you think and grow and expand, obviously that's going to be a bumpy road. And the amount of time we have here on earth with the brains that we have, we're not going to reach enlightenment, okay? So all the thoughts and emotions that you feel, they are normal. You cannot beat yourself up or you are going to get nowhere. So above all, be nice to yourself this week, and everything begins to flow naturally and better for you from that space. So just remember that. Be nice to yourself. What it looks like to redefine what success means to you, what keeps coming up over and over again, what you all are craving in the process of going through the ups and the downs. It always comes down to this after I ask question after question, like how can you be at peace with the ups and the downs while you're figuring that out? And it all comes down to being at peace with the process, and that the process is where the growth is. And to even take that a step further, if you're experiencing what you perceive to be as a setback, I encourage you this week, look at those things as forward momentum, because they're so necessary to even get anywhere. We have to be comfortable with ups and downs. So your negative emotions, they're normal. What's most important is how we manage them. And when we get in a negative spiral, how fast can we bounce back? Like, that's the name of the game. Positive affirmations are super important. We talk about them a lot, but again, I want you guys to always be tweaking those because they need to be believable. You can write down that you're a super fitness queen, but if you don't believe that, that thought's not going to work for you. So even if it has to go to just being a thought a little bit better than terrible, okay, that's where we need to be. So maybe it's, I have a human body. That's how we get from negative thoughts to neutral thoughts to more neutral thoughts. And then we can slowly get to positive thoughts. And what happens in there is naturally more action starts to happen, and then you start to reach the goal. You do not have to be perfect to bring value to the world. Okay, so I also want to always be an example of someone who is helping you stop fueling perfectionism and this notion of everything happens at this like perfect time and everything's been perfect, divine perfect intervention. And while part of me believes in that, that also I think fuels this perfectionism mindset. And society has wired us up big time to buy into the notion of that, of just perfectionism in general, that everything has to be perfect to mean something, to be valuable. That mindset really is what builds resiliency. That's how you become resilient. Again, the idea of bouncing back. Just like in the dating world or the networking world, if you're struggling with self-confidence, if you are full of fear, we all go through it. Again, normal. First normalize it. I always say that. What I can promise you is that if you're not going back to that being nice to yourself and working on where this lack of self-confidence and where that's coming from, it's going to show up at these interviews. Every thought that we have, whether we're working on it, these thoughts, again, they're flying so fast through our mind and through our space. If they're the ones that are deeply rooted, okay, they are in every cell of your body, okay? There's research on this. It's in every cell. It's in your energetic field. It's what you're creating. I don't say this to scare you because it might be like, oh my God, what am I bringing to these interviews? But this is what shows up. So you might be sitting there talking and smiling and you might be excited and feeling all the things. But if you're bringing all of this junk with you and you're not clearing this stuff out of your literal body, at some point you're making a decision to bring that to these interviews. We could show up in a little headset and like tell you exactly what to say and like stage this whole thing, and like we could literally do that and it wouldn't even matter if you are not working on the self-confidence piece. Everybody's mirroring the image of what you're projecting as well. So I don't mean to go off into complete like left field there, but every thought that you have, you are spewing it out at your interviews. And I hope that things have begun to change and shift as you go through this process. This is human nature, like this is normal. We're just trying to manage it and overcome it enough to reach our goals and feel good about life and feel good about growth. The name of the game is to feel good, guys.